Hi guys, I'm Scott Berkwin and this is Tech Tac Dough, the show where we talk about technology, fast toys, and money, because those are the three things we can talk about without ever getting into politics or religion, still be guys and still have fun. Today, in this episode, we're going to talk about one of my favorite new toys in the barn, a Jeep Wrangler. Now the Jeep offers a whole bunch of opportunities for upgrades and modifications that are very easy to do. They even give you a toolkit to take the doors off. What other car does that? Today, we're going to change the headlights. They come with stock halogen headlamps. The stock headlights are basic 55 watt DOT approved halogen headlights. They're kind of yellow and dim and not a lot of fun. So I wanted something brighter that I could take off-road, on-road, DOT legal, and looked cool. So we picked this. This is an LED halo light. The ring on the outside is a halo that will plug in to a 12 volt accessory wire, and it will become a daytime running light. All the time, nice light ring so the Jeep has eyes driving down the road. Nighttime low beam, top three. These three have a simple curve to make a nice wide low beam so you don't blind oncoming traffic and you get great coverage on the road. The bottom three, dome shaped, like a flashlight or a beam, straight ahead, high beams, give you great coverage on the road and get you going down. Now, there's a problem with that. LED headlights are so efficient that when the CAN bus, the computer in the Jeep, checks to make sure the bulb hasn't failed, it actually makes the bulb flicker a little. So the way to prevent that is you have to buy one more accessory. It's this little interim connector, plugs into the back of the light, the back of the Jeep, and then you have this box that tells the CAN bus the light is still working without making the light flicker. So that's it. Very simple, basic C7 lights, 7-inch round headlights, fit on any motorcycle that uses a standard headlight, old Jeeps, new Jeeps. Pop it out, pop it in. So let's head up to the garage and put them in and see how they look. You'll also notice there's two extra wires right here, a red and a green. These two wires are to hook up the daytime running lights. And to do this job, you're only going to need three tools. The first is a Torx 15. And I'm using a universal screwdriver, so I get both a flathead and a Phillips. But if you've got two flatheads, that will make the job go a lot easier. These are the little buttons right here to remove the grill. All you have to do is pop them up and pull them out, and that's it. Once you have the base and the top out, like so, 6 of them across the grill starting at each end, and then running across the top, we'll get the grill out. The bottom is held in by 4 clips, so once the top is out, gently rotate the grill down and pull straight out. Then you have easy access to your headlamps. Now once the grill's off, you'll notice there's 4 Torx 15 screws holding on the chrome trim ring. So I'll speed this up for you, make life a little easier. You don't want to watch me taking a headlight out for 3 minutes. But all you've got, the 4 screws, the headlight will pop out. It's just a very lightweight plastic headlamp assembly. It's not even glass like they were in the old days. And you notice this little red clip on the back. The green clip is what holds it in, but there's a little red sort of a slider that pops out right there, and then we just pop it off once the slider's out, and there you go. Chrome trim rings off, and you have there the Jeep plastic headlight. Okay, so now you see that we have our daisy chain of the CAN bus and the adapter, and all we have to do is very carefully set the light, plug in the adapter, make sure it clicks all the way in. And again, here's the 2 wires that we're going to connect later for the halo and the other parts. And then all we're going to do is put the ring and back up. And we'll tuck the wires in neatly to make it look good. Putting the lights back in is pretty straightforward. It's the same 4 screws, the Torx 15s, and getting the wires tucked in there nicely. So let's get on to the halos and the DRLs. Remember we had those 2 extra little wires, the red and the green. That's what's going to power our DRL. The red one is the power, so we need to find accessory power somewhere, and what that will do is light up this section of the halo, the ring, all the way around the outside of the headlight. It's a very cool effect, and it's exactly what we wanted to achieve. So the green one, if you hook it up to your turn signal, will alternate. It's a little circuit that causes the halo to blink. You'll see that on some of the higher end Audis. We didn't do that. So you've got a couple of choices to power up your DRLs. Some guys connect them to the parking lights and simply turn on the parking lights all the time. I want a more direct solution that we can use all of the time and not worry about. So this is the fuse box under the hood next to the air cleaner. You notice some relay slots that are open because not everybody buys every single option that Jeep offers. So this gives you one opportunity. You'll just need a voltmeter to verify that the pole actually has power only when the accessory's on, not 24/7. DRLs don't need to be on when the car is parked in the garage. But if you do this, this box is water sealed, so you'll need to reseal wherever you clip through to get your wire out in order to make sure that the water doesn't come in here and damage the box. Another popular option is the M7 fuse right here. This one, if you notice, has a second slot on the other side. So it can move back and forth and give you power either 24/7 or not, and that depends on how you want to use the power outlet in the back of the Jeep. So what we're going to do is take a look at a couple of parts. So here's the first quick part. It's an add a fuse adapter. You pull out a fuse that you're using, stick it in the bottom slot, put a new fuse in the top slot. Now in our case, we chose not to use a fuse that we were already using. The M9 slot right next to the M7 that all the forums said to use was not used in our Jeep, so we put the 10 amp fuse in the bottom and a 3 amp on top, connected here to this blue connector, and our DRLs were done. So you can see I've filled the fuse adapter with a 5 and a 3. The bottom one on the 5 is required in order to get the thing to work, and it's the smallest one I had available. The 3 is what I really want to use for my DRLs. So it's a little tight squeezing it in here, getting it in the M9 slot, but eventually I'll get it in. And then we've got the little adapter at the end. We're just going to clip the wire that goes to the two DRLs right there. But in order to do it, I've got to drill a small hole in the side of the box, and then I'll use RTV sealant in order to watertight the box again. So we just want to make sure that everything looks good coming through there, and we'll keep the wire run nice and neat along with the existing wires. So now we've got the grill back on, and here are the DRLs, the halos. And this is where I have to admit the lights are upside down. When I showed them to you at the beginning downstairs, they were in the right order. Now they're wrong. So here's a quick close-up of the halo. So here's our cinematographer, Craig Railsback, standing between the two low beam lights. You notice how white and even the new LEDs are compared to the spotty yellow old low beams. Now look at the high beam difference. Those nice round dots will go way down the road. Now we got to tell you, right after our first night drive, we realized the headlights were upside down. The low beams were highlighting the trees, and the high beams were making two perfect little dots on the ground. This is what they should look like when they're properly installed. So there you have it. Just a couple hours of labor, a couple $100. Really cool. Daytime running lights with the halo. And you have better nighttime driving with better low beams and better high beams. Thanks for watching Tic-Tac-Toe, and I hope to see you again next week. Thanks for watching. Hey, Chloe. Come here. Good girl. You're good for the show. Yeah.